Hello, everybody, and welcome to Fun List Friday here on the Eat Sleep List YouTube channel. My name is Matt Johnson, your host, and it is basically the end of August at this point. You know what that means. It is back to school time. We're going to talk about the memories, the fun, the nostalgia, the vibes, all that and then some. Let's make a list. All right, everyone. Before we get into the intended fun aspect of this video, I want us to get a little bit reflective, if you will. Picture yourself 16, 17, 18 years old again. All right, that last 2 weeks before the start of your senior year of high school. And remember things. Remember who you were, what you were like, the things that you said, the way that you dressed, the friends that we had, all of that jazz. It all encompasses into this. But remember that feeling. All right. I remember the last 2 weeks of my last summer vacation leading up to that senior year. And there was some good stuff. There was some bad stuff. A little sadness because summertime was coming to an end. But a level of excitement. A level of excitement. Because my senior year to me was a last chance at a lot of things. It was my last chance at high school athletics, last chance to make an impression, maybe make some friendships that I would never get a chance to again, maybe last chance for to find relationships, dating relationships with certain people that I was always very fond of, and amongst a lot of things. It was a new opportunity. It was a new opportunity. And I loved that feeling. There was like a certain element of pressure to it, but a certain level of excitement because you know this is it, right? You never have to do great. If you pass, if you do everything right, you never have to go to grade school again. And for many people, never have to wake up for school again. And what an exciting feeling that was, especially back then. Little did I realize that a couple years later I'd be missing the good old days. That school time, that grade school era were the good old days for me. But I loved it. And I didn't carry that feeling just going into my senior year. But I think for most people, that back to school feeling going into your senior year was exciting because this is kind of it. There was just such a special vibe about going back to school every single year for me. And that's what the top 10 list is going to be about. We're going to delve more into that. But it was just, it was so nice. It was so peaceful. This reset, this life reset that we have. We don't have life resets really much anymore. We don't get 10 weeks off of anything. All right, we just don't. It very rarely happens that way. I liked it. It was like a phoenix rising from ashes. The new school year is here. All right. This episode is going great. It's going splendidly. Time-wise, I'm here for it. I like shorter episodes whenever I get the chance to do so. So we're going to keep this gravy train rolling. Lessons from the list. As hard as it can be sometimes to reflect back on high school, middle school, and elementary school, because I have a lot of painful memories from those times. I do miss the general sense of comfort and peace and direction that I had back then, right? There was the certainty of, at least from my end, home, my parents, my brother, sister, all living together, family traditions, all that stuff. Not having to worry about certain aspects of bills and car payments and other things. Yeah, it was just stability. All right, when you have a good day, when you have a bad day, you have good people to go home to. And also, like, again, direction, like K through 12, 13 years of grade school. You know what's next. Graduate kindergarten, moving on to the first grade. So on and so forth until you graduate the 12th grade. All right, my life has not been easy post high school. I think it's the case for a lot of people. All right, this world, the second you take your diploma, the world is ready to chew you up and spit you out. And it has not been a fun road to get to where I'm at today. I can tell you that. I miss the comfort and stability of back then, the direction. And even, too, when I'm reflecting about my school days, I try to remember who I was, all right, and for better or for worse. There's definitely a lot of things about me that I'm glad have gone away, that I don't have anymore. These are traits that I don't carry with me, but there's also a lot of things about me that I miss. All right, certain mindsets, certain attitudes, because we all lose ourselves along the way. Conforming to society or whatever jobs or groups of friends that we have, we change so much. And, from, especially now, I've been out of school for like 16 years at this point. And a lot's happened. A lot's happened. For better or for worse, a lot's happened. And yeah, it's always good to reflect and think back of who and what we were, the good things of who and what we were way back when. All right, everybody. It is time for my favorite part of every single video that we do. It is time for the top 10 list. And for this, my top 10 favorite parts of going back to school, or top 10 favorite aspects of going back to school. I hope that you all have at least some fond memories of that back to school feeling that we're going to talk about today. Of course, feel free to comment them below or send an email to eatsleeplesspod@gmail.com. Or if you know me on a personal level, send a text message and chat. I would love to hear about your favorite memories of that back-to-school feeling, all right? Let's get to it. My number 10. Before I realized there was the New Year, New Me, New Year's resolution, it was New School Year, New Me resolution. I loved the opportunity for a fresh start. All right, I do. And that's why I like the long summer vacation breaks. The 10 weeks were so great. All right, it was not too long, I don't think, even though I don't know what I would do with 10 weeks off of work currently. I don't know what I do with myself, but having 10 weeks away was nice. It was just right. It was just right, right? You got September to June. That's 9 months of school, basically. 9 or 10 months of school. Now I got to count. No, it's 10. Yeah, 10 months of school, and 2 months off, basically, essentially. And it was just right. It was just the right amount. So you come back, another year older, another just leveled up in life feeling, and it was just always cool for that fresh opportunity to do better athletically, do better academically, do better socially, and so much more. So that's my number 10. I loved the fresh start aspect of back to school. My number 9, daily structure. I think one of the wildest things like that, I can't believe I just said that, but like summertime with nothing planned or whatnot, like it's like a fever dream. Like it doesn't feel real. And like I hate having nothing planned. I need to do more of having things with nothing planned, but like having nothing planned sounds wild to me. I do better with structure, and school gave me structure. All right, 10 weeks off of running around and doing whatever the heck you want is a recipe for disaster sometimes. All right, bad decisions made. It can get ugly. I actually enjoyed the daily structure, having a reason to wake up in the morning, and going through a day looking like a presentable human and kind of fit, like not like fitting in necessarily, but just being organized, just having something you're obligated to do. It's kind of nice. That's why I like it. I don't hate like work. so much because like when I'm off of work, like that, I don't know. It's nice to be off of work, but like also my whole day is like screwed up because all I know is the structure of my work day. It's weird. It's hard to explain, but daily structure is one thing that I miss. Reestablishing daily structure, more specifically, is my number 9. Number 8. All three levels: elementary, middle grade, high school. Loved the formation of the cafeteria crew. All right, that first couple weeks, you're in. Probably even the first week, you see somebody you know, maybe a couple people you know, and you gravitate towards them. You try to mosey on in with their lunch table, and that cafeteria crew is very, I think, underappreciated retrospectively. All right, I remember all of my lunch tables. All right, I remember all of my lunch group crews, and obviously it wasn't at least we didn't have assigned seating. It was find people you like and go sit with them and make the most of it, and that's exactly what I did. All right, I had some great lunchtime crews, and friends were made, and those were your boys or your gals for the whole school year. So yeah, formation of the cafeteria crew. That's my number 8. Number 7, I like that easiness, that easing into new classes. Because a couple weeks down the road, they're already like heavy, exhausting, and nauseating to have to go to. But that first like week or two going back to school, I always liked it. I always liked the vibe. Like here's your textbook, and here, this is like the first day. Here's what your expectations are. Here's the school supplies that you need to get, so on and so forth. I always liked that feeling. I thought like most of the first lessons that we took up in our various classes were always a nice way. Like for like history, I always loved that for high school, at the very least, 9th and 10th grade, we did world history. So we eased into it with like the Neolithic Revolution and some of those other aspects. Writing was usually, I kind of don't remember that one, but math was usually something relatively easy before we started getting into wild, dumb crap that I have not used to date. But that easiness in the classes, those first homework assignments aren't usually too rough, too bad on you, and it's just right. So that's my number 7. Number 6. Kind of like meeting some of the new teachers. All right. I always like meeting new teachers. And I've had a lot of great teachers, school teachers in my day. Maybe someday I'll give them a shout out on a video, the school teachers list instead of the life teachers list. But yeah, I don't know. You meet so many. Some of them are complete wackos, but some of them are really, really good people. And it's always exciting for me when I bump into one of them. Out in public, we talk, we catch up. They still remember me. I obviously still remember them. It is always nice. It is always nice. And these people, you're gonna have to deal with them for 10 months. So you better find a way to get it on their good side, so to speak. So that's my number 6 is the meeting new teachers. Number 5 is always meeting new friends. I think every single year of school that I had, I added one new friend in some instance. Like there was, I don't know, sometimes you'd be replacing a friend that you missed out on that just kind of moved away or whatever. But I don't know, there's always somebody you got closer to, whether it was you meet them in a new class, right? You're going to have to be with each other, so might as well chop it up. Be pals for a year and get through it, and whatever happens after that happens. Forming a new lunch table. All right? Yeah, maybe 3 people that I know are at this lunch table, but there's maybe 1 or 2 that I've never met before. And these become people that you become fond of, become friends with. And that new friend smell is wonderful. And speaking of smells, my number 4 is that new school year smell. Legitimately, it is the cleanest that the school smells. It's within like a week or so that just the stank of children just overtakes everything. But I used to love like heading into the classroom, and you could definitely tell that they went hard with the bleach and and all the cleaning products. All right, the lunchroom smells great, and you just walk in and you're like, it's time. It's time. So yeah, that new school year smell. It's hard to describe without smelling it, but I think everybody kind of has an idea of what that smell is like, or they have their own interpretation of that smell. So that's my number 4. Number 3, seeing people that I haven't seen all summer. That's always a nice time too, because back in the day, before the cell phone, I didn't get my cell phone until 10th grade. No, well, yeah, it was kind of 10th grade, but I didn't have like texting capabilities till a little bit later on. It was always nice when you bump into somebody you haven't seen in 10 weeks or so, and you say hello to them and just see how they're doing and see how much they've changed, and you have a brief conversation with them in passing in the hallway, all that stuff. It's always nice to reconnect like that, and especially back then too, when social circles, socializing is everything. Yeah, I always got really excited. I had my core group that I hung out with all summer long. I knew their phone numbers, all that jazz. But there was a lot of other good people that I only seen in school, and coming back to school was the only time I got to do that. So my number 2 is sports. I didn't start doing school sports until middle school, 7th grade. No, actually, I lied. 8th grade. 8th grade with volleyball. All right, volleyball was a fall-time sport. Played that in 8th grade. All right, it was just really exciting to be a part of the team and get to wear the school volleyball jersey at school. That was always nice. And I started wrestling in 8th grade. And every year, started 9th grade, my fall sport was also volleyball. 10th grade was football. 11th and 12th grade were cross country. So I had something to look forward to every single school year that I came back into. But also, like, getting closer. Like, wrestling season was life for me. So we're that much closer to wintertime. And the new school year meant a new opportunity for me to do some cool things in a sport that I was actually really good at. So yes, sports was always a really nice reason to be excited to go back to school. And my number 1 is back to school shopping. All right, that hype, that excitement. We're picking out, you get new shoes. All right, always awesome time. Like, for me, I only got clothes. I mean, I got really clothes 3 times a year. I never ever spent my own money on clothes. Christmas time, birthday, back to school. That was it. And I like clothes shopping, but it was always exciting to have a reason to get new clothes. But yes, you get new shoes, you get new shirts, new pants, new backpack was always exciting, especially in elementary school when you're picking out themed backpacks. The lunch box or the lunch pail, whatever the heck you had. I loved picking out the school lunch box. That might be something I have to explore at some point too. I remember I had so many cool things. But I remember the one year, I didn't even have a Nintendo, but I got a Mario Kart 64 lunchbox. And it had one of those 3D images on the front. You could move it, and it looked like it was moving. I loved that, and I missed that. But it was just neat. All right, here's all the notebooks. Here's all your pens and pencils, scissors, glue sticks, whatever the hell you needed. You got Star Wars stuff. Like, but that was. I can't actually pick an era where that was the best in. Elementary school was fun, though, because of the themed stuff, because the licensed products that I used to get. High school was a little bit less of that. It was a little bit more straight and narrow, but the clothes shopping was always nice. But yeah, let's go to a mall and shop for a day and get your school clothes. And then we're going to go to Walmart or Kmart or something else and get the necessary school supplies. That was always good. So back to school shopping. that is my number one, and that is this episode. We flew through it. I am all the way here for it, and that is a wrap. Thank you so much, everybody. If you are a parent of somebody going back to school, I'm excited for you. I know many of you are. A lot of you cannot wait for your kids to go back to school. I'm still a couple years away from my kid trying school, and I'm just not emotionally ready for that yet. But yeah, we'll be back Monday. You all have a great weekend. Till next time, do you even list?